If you've never had your heart broken, consider yourself lucky. For the rest of us, we know that heartbreak is an indescribable pain. It can fade with time, but we remember how it felt. It's a horrible feeling, really. It's palpable. It's memorable. It can haunt our dreams and give us immeasurable pain. I really think that's why Trisha's journey to find love has been so relatable to us. Not her trolling for shock value, but when she's truly vulnerable is when I believe she's the most likable. So, why am I doing this video now? It has been well over a year since Trisha and Jason called it quits for good. Well, I believe that loving someone who is wrong for you is a cautionary tale that many of us can learn from. My thought is that maybe now, after all the dust has settled, and they finally seem to be in a place to move on with their lives, now is a good time to explore and discover all the little pieces of the puzzle that can explain more in depth why Jason finally had to walk away, break contact, and never speak her name again. Now, if you find something familiar in your relationship, or you notice any of these warning signs, take note of some of their mistakes because, believe it or not, these mistakes are way more common than you think. And most of the time when you're in the thick of love, you aren't able to see what's blindly staring at you in the face. Plato said it best. Love can sometimes be a serious mental disease. By the way, it's important to note that this video is not Team Jason or Team Trisha. It's just exploring more in depth the story of two seemingly broken people who were looking for love and the tragic deterioration of that relationship quickly unraveling, which happened in real time and was fully documented for the whole world to see. It's funny how sometimes in life, when you're searching for an answer, you suddenly realize that the clues to solve your questions had been in front of you the entire time. It's always the small pieces of the puzzle that make the big picture. So, we're going to use the gift of the internet gods to turn back the hands of time today and explore some really important and critical moments that contributed to the fall of their relationship. So to begin, we'll wind back the clock and start by first revisiting a very essential part of the story. It's important that we revisit the point in time before Trisha and Jason met. We should really understand their state of mind at that time, including their wants, their needs, their desires, or any issues that they had. And when I'm talking about mindsets, I'm talking about consistent themes that were constantly discussed in their videos at the time, which gave us insight into their priorities. So let's start with Jason. At the time, Jason was 44 years old and had recently divorced the mother of his two children. Now, his ex-wife is an extremely successful producer in the movie and entertainment business. Now, according to Jason, the relationship ended because over time they grew apart and they eventually just didn't have the same interests.
Today got to see some of my ex-wife, and I wish we liked the same things, you know what I mean? You could probably see why we got divorced.
So here are some important mindsets that he discussed while he was single. Mindset number 1, he wanted to date casually.
I think I'll just say what we're all thinking. Jason needs a woman in his life.
Jason was looking forward to dating, which I believe he meant casual dating, but not necessarily having any type of long-term commitment.
So, I guess I should start looking for a girlfriend, but I don't know. I'm having so much damn fun.
At this time, he really just wanted to focus on his career and his kids.
I was talking to this girl last night on Instagram. She's age appropriate. She's 35. I was realizing, at what point do I tell her that I live with 4 20-year-olds, that I really don't have time for a girlfriend because all I do is make videos, that I have 2 children, and she'd never, ever be able to compete with them in terms of how much I love them.
Now, casually dating is understandable for a guy who was recently divorced and also wants to focus on things other than making a wife or a girlfriend a priority. The second mindset is that his career was extremely important. Jason currently has over 3 million subscribers, but during this period, he had around 1 million. And before his days on Vine, and then his transition into YouTube with the Vlog Squad, he worked really hard in the entertainment industry, but was never able to hit the level of fame or success that he had wanted. In 2014 and 2016, he directed, wrote, and starred in 2 feature films, which was Jason Nash is Married and FML, which is, it stands for Fuck My Life. These films are no doubt inspired by his real life and fit the phrase art imitating life perfectly. Listen to the premise of these 2 movies. The Jason Nash is Married storyline is that Jason is stuck living in the shadows of his more successful wife and 2 young kids. He had to jumpstart his career after his family had financial issues. And the FML movie premise is about 2 unlikely friends, a middle-aged comedian and a teen social media star who embark on a quest to reach 1 million followers. He also mentioned in his vlogs that he felt like a failure because at the time his wife was way more successful than him, and he spent a lot of money on these 2 projects, which he thought was going to lead to fame and success. He ended up getting that success that he was craving when he joined the Vlog Squad, and during this particular period, he wanted to continue to be successful and keep growing his brand for his children and for people to be proud of him.
But I actually said in December of last year, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do YouTube. If I can make X amount of money a month, then I will consider myself a success. And I did it, And it's the one time in my life where I just said like, I'm doing this. I'm gonna do it, it's gonna work. And it worked.
And in my opinion, it also helped with his own value and self-worth. Now, mindset number 3 is he desperately wants to please people. He's a people pleaser. He hates saying no and would rather internalize his own issues. Jason loves to make people laugh.
I mean, I'm sure I have some good qualities, and I've worked at being funny from all my life, so I'm at a certain level with it because I've dedicated my every waking thought to it. I've always wanted to be funny, always. It's like that's all I think about is jokes. How do I make this joke work? How do I make David's channel better? How do I make Scott's vlog better? How do I make Todd's vlog better?
And that's really an awesome quality to have. Where there is a problem with pleasing people is when you have issues establishing your own boundaries and you have to appease others. It becomes unhealthy, and you can internalize those thoughts and start to become resentful.
When I date someone, I really get into them, and I lose myself completely. I'll just be a shell of my former self. It's gonna be all about you.
Being able to verbalize and express emotions other than happiness or being agreeable is important in relationships, as well as your own mental health, because it opens up the door for your needs to be met and fulfilled. Now, Jason doesn't have many candid moments on camera, as most of them are filled with jokes and outrageous pranks. But sometimes he does offer a quick glimmer into his inner thoughts on wanting to express more of his true feelings and emotions, but the audience just wasn't interested in hearing him.
Now, I don't make movies anymore. I make YouTube videos, which is cool. I used to want to express like so many like feelings and like dark things. I sort of learned that people don't care about that. People just want to come home and watch a silly 44-year-old guy go around in LA with a bunch of 21-year-old kids and, you know, wax his chest.
Mindset number 4 is that health and weight loss is a serious priority to Jason. He had so many videos about him losing weight or getting back in shape and constantly discussed how he wanted to lose weight.
The main thing I think I talk about today is I am the heaviest I've ever been.
Kristen, how do I lose weight?
Run.
But my whole body aches.
The more time I spend on these videos, the fatter I get, I've noticed. You can look at me here right now and see that I'm fat. If you don't believe me, check me out in the passenger seat.
At one point, he had lost around 40 pounds and was feeling really confident and good about himself.
About 4 years ago, I lost about 40 pounds. I was probably this heavy. And I was really skinny. I got down to 165. And every day I would go to the gym for like 2 hours.
In his videos, he's constantly asking people to help keep him motivated to stay on track, eat healthy, and work out.
Could you get me excited about working out again?
And being super healthy is a lifestyle choice. And for some people, it's extremely important. For others, it's not. But for Jason, his mindset was that he wanted health to be a top priority.
The main way to lose weight for me, it's about shrinking your stomach. There's all kinds of diet pills out there, and for those of you who are overweight, I was fat as a child. And I think the one thing that people never, or at least I didn't know, that I had to figure out by myself, was you have to like wean your body off the food and shrink your stomach to a place where you don't crave the food, which is how most skinny people are. If you look at a skinny person, someone like David, I always ask David, you hungry? He's like, no, not hungry. And he's just not hungry. He just doesn't want the food. So anyways, I'm gonna go try to lose some weight. The point that I was trying to make was that you just need to wean yourself off the food. So that's what I'm gonna try to do today, is like maybe have 1 Snickers and not 8 like I did last night.
It was career, work out, eat right, spend time with the kids, maybe date occasionally here and there, and rinse and repeat. Here's what's interesting. I'm about to show you a clip where Jason is basically combining 2 of his top mindsets, which are combined in a nice little package to give a brief insight into his beliefs.
And also, I think in comedy, like if you're trying to be funny, like it's always funnier if you're fat. It's an easy joke for someone else to make. It's an easy joke for you to make. You know, you just hold up a cheeseburger and you're fat. So yeah, so there's that tendency to be like, it's only gonna help if I get fatter. But I wanna be in shape and I wanna be healthy. I'm 44 years old. I'm supposed to be in shape. I mean, I could drop dead any minute.
Trisha's mindset before dating Jason is a little more well-known because in the span of her YouTube career, her videos are always discussing her problems or the feelings that she's having at that point in her life. So here were the 4 main mindsets that Trisha had at this time. First and foremost, she wanted to be married and have children, and settling down was a priority. She said that she went as far as just wanting to get pregnant without any type of commitment because she just wanted children so badly. However, due to medical reasons, doctors had told her that it would be extremely difficult for her to have children. But that doesn't mean that there's not a possibility that it could happen. And she does discuss her desire to have children often. She often says that she feels accomplished in her YouTube career and is very grateful for as far as she's made it. But now that she's gotten the career part down, she really would give it all up just in order to find love. To love and to be loved was Trisha's top priority. Now, mindset 2 is that her past relationship trauma was always in the back of her mind. And Trisha had some pretty horrible boyfriends and dating experiences. And she'd expressed them many times that the men in her life do not treat her well.
That fulfills me, as being around people that I love and care about, and vice versa. And I just wish I had more of that.
They often want to keep their relationship private, or they don't want to be exclusive with her. They lie, they cheat, they manipulate. And you can see how having this pattern of instability with another person would change how you feel about relationships. It's really hard to trust someone again once that veil has been lifted.
To know that person is not going to love you back, even just in a genuine way, and they just don't show. It's just you can wish so hard that things were different, and they're just not.
Mindset 3 was Trisha's self-saboteur.
And I just, I get, sometimes I focus so much on what's not going right, or what's negative.
Trisha has admitted that she has a tendency for self-sabotage. And she stated that she feels many times that she is undeserving of love.
It's I'm alone, I'm constantly getting abandoned, and these same patterns are happening in my life. The way I act towards people, the way people leave me, it's the same thing for 15 years, and I can't control it.
And she stated that she's never broke up with any of her boyfriends, and she never would. She has serious abandonment issues. And that's something that she said started in her childhood and manifested into her adult years. This deep need for connection, knowing that she's loved and feeling loved, is extremely important to her.
People should be lucky to know me. And I've had so many jerks in my life, not just guys, and I'm not just talking about boyfriends, but family, friends, everything. Make me feel like I'm less than, that I'm not good enough to be acknowledged, that I'm not good enough to be on the same level as their other friends. It's not fair. It's not fair to me, and I'm tired of it, and I'm not letting people do that to me anymore.
Now, mindset 4 is that Trisha is a foodie. She loves to eat and even made a career out of it. We all know that she loves food, and she even credits herself as being one of the first American YouTubers to pick up this mukbang trend. So we know she's always down to eat, and that's also her career. So she makes money off of eating food, and food also helps support her emotionally. And that's something that we also need to consider with her mindset. So now that we've discussed each of their mindsets while they were single, let's fast forward to the point in time where they're about to go on their first date. And I found some really interesting things that you may not have noticed that plays an important factor into this whole story. Trisha and Jason's first encounter had many warning signs. It's amazing looking back in retrospect that a lot of their well-known issues made an appearance and crept out during this initial interaction. And here's the part that gets a little tricky, because there's no way to give facts on thoughts that Jason was internalizing. And even if he did come out with a video now explaining his side, I don't know if he would be completely transparent with everything that he was thinking, because I'm sure he doesn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. Now, there is so much nuance that can be perceived in so many different ways. So if you disagree with my theory, I would love to read your thoughts and points of view in the comment section below. Maybe I missed something. So it all started with this moment. Can you believe their relationship started based on this clip? And the rest was history.
Did you find me my girlfriend yet?
Yes! I have someone in mind. Do you know who Trisha Paytas is?
Okay, so wait a minute. You found somebody?
I found someone that I think you and her would be very compatible.
How old is she?
30.
That's a great age. In her
You
prime.
want to see a picture of her? Do you know what she is? She has like half-hour-long videos of her just eating.
Girl, like if you can set me up on a date with her, like
I will.
tonight, I'll go tonight.
Oh my god, that's so soon.
Do you know her?
Yeah.
Ask her if I'll go on a date with her if I can film it. Just me and her. It'll just be me and her.
Jason canceled their date the first 2 times, and Trisha then did a video talking about how she was stood up.
I got flaked on. I'm seriously done. I texted said person at, what time did I text them? Oh, 2:45. We had plans. He asked me Friday, hey, what are you doing Monday? Perfect, pick you around 5. Cool. Around 2:45, I had a feeling he was gonna flake. I'm like, you know what, I'll just text, you know, in case, whatever.
Now, they finally ended up meeting up for their date. And I think both of them were really surprised at how much fun they had.
Today, we're headed down to Trisha Paytas' house for a date. Yes.
Alright guys, so last week, I told you I got stood up. Remember when I was all pretty sitting on this very couch and I was like, he stood me up 25 minutes before. Well, look who came through.
Hey!
The guy who stood me up.
Morning date.
Morning date at 9 a.m. And then after he stood me up, he's like, do you want to go out tomorrow at 9 a.m.? I was like, that is not a date.
I go to bed at like 7.
It seems like both Trisha and Jason's initial reaction was that they were not each other's type, and neither really seemed that excited about going out on the date.
This guy is really, 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 really not my type. And I'm still like, I'm gonna give this person a chance.
But I think both of them were just so surprised that they were able to connect and laugh in a way where they had a good time, better than expected.
We could never date because our whole life would just be videoing each other. I feel like it would be not
That's what I want.
And according to Trisha, they even hooked up halfway through the date.
When we first met, I just remember we like made out and like hooked up and I was like so into it. And you can tell in his video, my eyelashes and my lip gloss change colors from when he meets me at my apartment to when we go to the Grove.
So they were both feeling each other out, as you do during a first date, to see if you're compatible with the other person. And already, many of their priorities were brought up in conversation. Now, listen, I get that no one is going to find a partner that is 100% like them. Well, number one, that's boring. Number two, you might as well date yourself and not someone else. So I don't expect a couple to be on the same page about everything. However, when it comes to your top priorities or what you expect in life, those topics are extremely important. So here were some of them. Jason would subtly and often bring up issues with Trisha's food habits and her weight.
Pretty and food.
I'm getting to know you.
Oh, no, seriously, that's all you need to know about me is I just fucking eat. I need something pretty like this though.
Guys, I'm trying to get in shape. I mean, like really. I'm really trying. And you know, the thing is, as I get older, if I don't work out, I start to die. My body will shut down. It's starting to shut itself down. And it's wild, bro.
I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna get, and then you tell me what you're gonna get.
Oh no.
Actually, you tell me what you're gonna get, and then I'll tell you what I'm gonna get.
Should I get something like super unhealthy to be like...
No, just say honestly what would you were gonna get.
I don't even know because I don't even eat places that are healthy.
You've never eaten here?
No, never. I didn't even know this was here.
I think it should be. I'm gonna get a Greek salad with grilled chicken on top of it.
You are so the girl.
Yeah. You're gonna have ice cream now?
Yeah, it's like the middle of the day. It's hot.
On your channel, you do what?
I just eat for 2 hours straight. Andrea told you that when she first said, she's like, oh, this is Trish, she eats. That's literally what she said on your
she did
vlog.
say that.
I just... Look how skinny you are. Can you show your food? You literally ate nothing. You're such a skinny person.
When I'm with a beautiful woman, I don't eat.
You're such a liar.
Flip through them?
Okay.
Yeah, we look good.
I was like, ooh, we look good.
Yeah, we look really good. And you know why? Because I had salad.
Yeah.
And you made fun of me for having salad.
But look how hot you look. Look, but I eat healthy with you too.
That
look, I mean, hot.
You can afford to like hire a trainer. You can afford to eat well.
No, that requires discipline.
I know you have discipline because you're a successful career person with albums and books and all these accomplishments. So
That's narcissism. I just like to
well, that's the height of narcissism, looking skinny.
Isn't that? That's what people say. They're like, she's so vain, but she's like, but it's so weird because I love food more than I love like looking good.
And then Trisha brought up wanting to have children. And Jason kind of gave her hope by leaving that door open.
I'm ready to get married and have kids. I literally asked him, I said, are you ready to have kids? Or more kids?
Oh yeah, you did say that on the first date.
I do this to everybody because I want kids. I have to ask, you want more?
With the right person, I would have kids.
And then Trisha was already starting to feel insecure about the relationship and wondered if Jason was only there to get views and money instead of being on a real date or being interested in her.
And I was like, oh. And then we were holding hands. I thought he grabbed my hand to be sweet and romantic, and then he's like vlogging it. I was like, oh, this is not my date. I'm really sad. I was kind of hoping for like a real date, Jason.
We're having a real date.
Is this though? We're just walking around the Grove.
Now, this is just my thoughts. I feel like Trisha was onto something in her thinking just based on a very similar interaction that Jason had with someone that he was, in his own words, very interested in.
And then her mom started talking to Jason and I. Jason was just like head over heels for this woman. He was like, she's really something, huh? Really her. And then he brings her onto the stage and he gets her number on stage. And he's like completely like obsessed with this woman.
Oh, this is a no-brainer.
How old is she?
If he doesn't bang her,
No, this is the best catch Jason's ever gotten in his life.
Oh yeah, I mean it's incredible. Is that you? I'm just seeing random skinny girls. I'm like, nope, not her. David, I've been stood up many times in my life,
Really?
and this has the stink of it. This has happened before. I'm having deja vu where like it's like a really hot girl and I'm like right there.
Oh, did you try calling her?
Yeah,
How many times?
just 5. I've already sent like 6 texts. And the first ones are so funny. They're like, I'm cool, I'm just chilling, take your time. And then like, it gets like progressively worse. Like, yo, what's up? Like, I want to see you tonight. Literally,
right here.
like one of my best friends in the world. This is Brandon. And this is David, who I spend every day with.
Whoa, you guys are like super couple.
It's on.
You two are really hitting it off really quick. It's nice to see that he's found someone that he wants to marry. Brandon, why are you so weird right now?
Quick question. Hey, what are you doing here? You are super attractive. like up here, man, it's just this is happening right now, and it's not.
See how bright my face is getting?
I'll be honest, you're way out of his league.
Are you like colorblind?
Yeah, because you flaked on me, so you've already, but I didn't say your name. I was all pretty, ready to go for our date last night. 25 minutes before, you're like, sorry. I was like, this motherfucker.
I'm so sorry. I'm headed to meet with Trisha. We're gonna get something to eat. I'm not even gonna try to say that we're dating or anything. So don't even. I think she's kind of kooky and kind of awesome. So yeah, we're gonna go say hello.
Because I don't know much about your guys' relationship.
You don't?
No, not at all.
That's so interesting.
It was always just like Jason was like, oh, this is Trish. And I was like, oh, hi, Trish. And then I found out more about you as a person, and then I found out like you as a person in terms of like what you've done.
And to me, this affirms Trisha's initial gut feelings of why she may have felt insecure about Jason's intentions, or if he even really liked her.
Why would you say we're not friends? At the beginning we were. You remember? You're like, oh, it's like a funny joke. Like we'll go out on like a date, and then like I didn't hear from you for like 4 months, and then it was like, oh, like let's hang out again and like film, and then it didn't do so well, so I didn't hear from you for like 2 months, and then now we're like friends. Like.
So before we move on to events that happened when they were officially dating, let's leave it with this conversation that they had when they went to medieval times. Jason was so reluctant to commit to Trisha, and he provided a variety of reasons why.
I didn't think if we were dating, I thought, oh, that would be nice to like date her, but then
Oh my god, I'm gonna cry.
But then like to go over your house and like watch a movie or something.
Oh my god.
But I feel like that there would be like, I don't know.
I think you're overthinking it a lot.
I know.
Dating is literally just dating, like doing that stuff and figuring out if the person's crazy, if you like that person. And like, I feel like that's dating. Like, that's it.
I guess so.
I think it'd be so much
fun.
fun.
I like spending time for sure.
Oh my god, that like, I honestly want to cry. This is like, I'm confused.
Well, it's hard when you meet somebody and then you're like, even for friendship, there's a point where it like clicks.
Really?
Yeah, even in like male on male friendship, like even friends of mine where I'm like, oh my god, I really like that person, but maybe the first couple times you were with them, you were like, yeah, they're cool.
See, I was opposite. Like the first time we hung out, I was very like, oh my god, like I like really like him. Like I never heard from you again. Like I really liked you. Like the first time we met, oh my god,
but I didn't really believe you. I thought maybe you were just saying that. Why don't we see what happens?
I don't like that. I hate when people say that. What does that mean? Like that's so.
Let's just hang out and see what happens.
But that's what we're doing. So why bring it up then?
Okay, all right. Don't have any expectations.
Okay, wait. So what does that mean?
It means just don't expect anything. Yeah, let's just hang out, get to know each other.
Oh my god, that's what we're doing, Jason.
Okay.
So we had that conversation for nothing. I was so excited. I thought we were going forward, and now you're like, let's just hang out. So we're doing.
No. See? This
You
is
wanna
why
be
I don't want to
secretive.
get into a relationship.
No.
If one person needs that much convincing in order to even consider dating you, please value your self-worth more than that. It's so sad that this conversation would eventually be very relevant to issues that they consistently had in their relationship. Let's go over their very public feud that these two had and see how this fed into their cycle of toxicity, which was this dance of pushing and pulling of polar opposites of values, wants, and needs.
I mean, it's sad, but...
Were you in love though?
I mean, yeah, of course, I loved her,
So
but...
why didn't you just do it? Like I feel like when I'm in love with someone, I just do stuff I hate.
And I was just living this life for her. I just find that a lot with, like, at least women in LA, the ones that are in relationships, it's like all about the women. I mean, you see these guys, they're just sitting here,
That's true.
rotting away.
And the rest is history. Somewhere along the way, these two decided that it was better to be together than to be apart, and they gave it a really good effort. They laughed a lot, and they loved each other even harder. And you can tell that they genuinely had a blast together and they enjoyed each other's company. The problem was that they would bicker so often and so frequently about many of the same reoccurring themes that we talked about before. Now, it's in my opinion that a lot of the outrageous videos of them fighting were more so for comedy, and while some of the tension may have been based in fact, I do believe that more of it was on the comedy bit side for the viewers to watch. So while there are numerous video compilations of them being completely and utterly toxic to each other, I only want to focus on the moments that were not egged on by their friends or the vlog cameras, but rather more intimate moments when they were themselves and just speaking to us in the camera with their inner thoughts and no audience around. I think they were never more candid than when they were speaking to their audience after their big breakups. By the way, I'm not sure if you guys realize this, but both of their breakups with their epic video responses were caused directly because of jokes that Jason made, which Trisha found offensive and seriously hurt her feelings. And if you think about it, that's gotta be really hard for a comedian who's been doing comedy bits for over 20 years, making people laugh, has a certain comedy style, and currently uses his talent on his YouTube channel to feed his kids. And many times Trisha did not like Jason's sense of humor or his style, which I believe made him second guess how he was supposed to behave, especially in the art of improv, which is a lot of the humor that the Vlog Squad uses. Just off the cuff, fast, say what's on the top of your head humor.
And so, if this is what they find funny, and he supports this kind of person that would put this stuff out there and saying this, I don't like this joke, it's gross.
I think that during the first fight and breakup, the one where Jason made a joke to a producer about them being fat as a couple, well, I think that he was a lot more sympathetic to her needs then, and he wanted to apologize and make it better. He even suggested that they go to counseling, which to me suggests that at that particular point, he really wanted to make the relationship work, and he wanted to put in whatever effort was needed in order to fix the relationship. Now, for the second big fight, The one where Trisha made an expose on David and Jason for having a bit in there about Tana. Jason did not have the same energy. And even Trisha acknowledged that Jason pretty much ignored her feelings and was very dismissive.
You know, this idea that, this idea of being triggered, like, hey, okay, here's a minefield of things that, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but once you do say that trigger word, then it gives me license to, say whatever I want and cry and call you and demonize you and make you the villain.
And I really believe that by that point, Jason had just grown frustrated as he already thought she had blown things out of proportion in the past. And to be honest, you've got to wonder, did Trisha subconsciously or consciously sabotage the relationship during that time? I mean, the first fight that they had about her being called fat happened the day before they were going to fly to Boston to meet Jason's sister at her sister's wedding. And the first time that Trisha was going to meet his extended family. And also, the second fight happened just days before their 1-year anniversary. I don't know, the timing seems really sus to me. Some other issues that came up while they were an official couple seemed to be her desire to spend more quality time with Jason alone. She really had a hard time sharing him with so many people.
I've told him this before, I used to go for guys specifically that had no family, no friends, so it was such a different person for Jason, because he's close with his mom and dad, and his he has kids, and obviously he has a ton of friends, and that's not the type I go for. So I think you're right. I feel like I've isolated boyfriends in the past, or just chose people who are already isolated.
Yeah. So you feel kind of threatened by Jason's friends?
I used to.
And because Jason is such a social person and friends and family are so important to him, his free time is a hot commodity. And it seemed like his friends thought that Trisha was threatened by his closeness to them.
She's just... I just wish we could figure out a way to... She would just calm down and not be jealous about other people. But then again, I guess that's probably what makes her so great, is that she loves so hard too, so...
And not only that, but one of his closest friends didn't seem to be a big fan of Trisha, and they did not get along at all.
Trisha's a really special person, and you maybe see the videos. You can serve the food. This is $400 an ounce, by the way, guys.
$425.
$425. So Trisha's a really special person, and you maybe, you see the videos or whatever, you see her, maybe you don't know her. But if you really know her, David said that to me once. He said, you know her. You really, really know the real Trisha Paytas, and the real Trisha Paytas is such a really, really special person.
Another contentious part of their relationship was the fact that Jason brought up the relationship between Trisha and his ex-wife. Now, I can't say that this is 100% fact, it's just speculation on my part. But it is so common for guys to play the current girlfriend or wife against the ex-wife. They know that there is a communication gap, and so they can kind of paint whatever picture suits their narrative.
Back in September when he got the house, he had told me that he got this house to surprise me. But when he asked his ex-wife, she said, absolutely not. If you move in with Trish, I will take you to court and I will take the kids away from you.
Listen, I'm not trying to say that Jason is a bad guy or that he's a liar. But maybe he stretched the truth a little bit because he knew at this point that things were not going to work out. So this could help him naturally create a barrier that also wouldn't hurt Trisha's feelings. I could be totally wrong. But for a woman to be painted as being so controlling that he had no say in the relationship at all, this clip sure made it seem like Jason had more equal footing on this particular topic than he let on to Trisha.
I would have, invited Trisha to come out to dinner with me and my ex-wife, but there was just so much animosity between, the two of them. And there was a lot of vitriol coming from Trisha all the time about her. And it just seemed like, well, I probably should have. I probably should have introduced everybody, but I never did.
After their final apology video together, we all thought that they were back together. But then, all of a sudden, a few hours after Jason posted that video, it was taken down from his channel. And then, radio silence for 3 months about the relationship. We were all wondering what happened. And we now know that they kept in touch for a while behind the scenes. There was a big event that occurred when Jason called Trisha and broke up with her over the phone, and she was 5150 that same night. But that was it. He was completely over it when he made that call to her. Well, we still haven't heard his side of the story, which we may never get. I think we were really able to get into at least some of their mindset, especially Jason's side, since it was the one side that we really have to guess in order to know exactly what was going on. Many people claim Jason was doing all of this for views and clout, and I really don't believe that that's the case. I really believe that they genuinely loved each other, and they both met at really wrong times in their lives. I think Trisha explained this perfectly.
I think what it is like, I think we're like the same person, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we're so alike. We're just at such different spaces in our life, which is, I think, why it's so hard. Like, he's done like commitment, kids, all that stuff. Now he wants to like literally be a 20-year-old again, and I'm the opposite. I'm like ready to like settle down and stuff. So I think we're just so different.
It got to the point where I think Jason wanted out, but he really didn't know how to break it off. He didn't want to hurt her. In this clip that I'm about to show you, you can sense the resentment building and building. Now, Trisha claims to be an empath, but that does not only include sensing when someone's sad. Being an empath means that you can detect all types of emotions on people, and she doesn't do a good job detecting Jason's anger or resentment at all. Watch this clip, and this occurred towards the beginning of the very end of their relationship. They had just had a day out, and Trisha made a snide comment about his mom.
My sister got her own room, and me and my mom shared a bed. We were the only ones paying rent. I'm like, how are we sharing a room? Anyways.
The baby.
Oh, God, I know.
The baby
babies.
always gets it.
I hate the babies of the family. If you're a baby of your family, you're a little... Oh, you are? Yes. Oh, God, that is so true. That's true, even to this day.
Never mind.
Jason's mom just on it for him. It's cute, but...
He does not look happy. Look at his body language. He physically moves away from her as far as he physically can in the car. Look at his face. He is not happy. And then she starts talking about marriage, and he immediately starts biting his nails and touching his hair.
And yes, to the dress.
Really?
Is that a show?
Yeah, can I go on it?
What is
I
that?
have to be engaged.
It's like a wedding show?
Yeah.
Say yes to the dress.
It's like, you say yes to the dress. Oh, God, there's these... Oh, my God, I can't wait till the day we get married or when we at least get engaged. Because the wedding dress stores on freaking Wilshire are gorgeous by Beverly Hills. Every time I go past there, I'm like, oh. Like, you know, I love me. I love everything custom made, but I just want to get, like, one of those fancy dresses that are, like, $50,000 dresses. And I want to get one that lights up. I saw one on an Instagram that, like, lit up.
A wedding dress that lights up?
Yeah, I showed it to you. It was like twinkle lights, so it's, like, really delicate. They look like little, like, they look like sparkles. They look, oh, it's so beautiful.
Which are all signs of nervousness. Now, let me play the clip again without my rambling so you can see it in its entirety too. Do you see what I see?
my God, I can't wait till the day we get married or when we at least get engaged. Because the wedding dress stores on freaking Wilshire are gorgeous by Beverly Hills. Every time I go past there, I'm like, oh, like, you know, I love me. I love everything custom made, but I just want to get like one of those fancy dresses that are like $50,000 dresses. And I want to get one that lights up. I saw one on an Instagram that like lit up.
A wedding dress that lights up?
Yeah, I showed it to you. It was like twinkle lights, so it's like really delicate. They look like little they look like sparkles. They look, oh, it's so beautiful.
So I feel like we finally gathered enough pieces of the puzzle to form the big picture. Jason came to the realization that there were too many roadblocks in the way for them to remain a happy and healthy couple. They had too many opposing priorities and needs that were constantly at war with each other. If you have to reduce or mute yourself in order to morph into something that's more palatable to appease your partner, it eventually is not going to work. You can only be a muted version of yourself for so long before the real you jumps up screaming for air. That's for both of them, Trisha and Jason. They tried so hard and they wanted it to work so badly. You know, growing up, when you first experience love, you can't even comprehend the term love is enough. I mean, how could that be? Love should be everything. Once you've lived life and you actually experience heartache, you know, just as well as I, that eventually you come to the realization that no amount of love can fix certain situations. Sometimes the best way to love someone is when you realize that both of you would be happier and healthier apart. And in this situation, sure, Jason could have strung her along for another year, another 2 years, but I think he loved her enough to want more for her and to move on and be in a happy and healthy relationship and hopefully marriage and children in the future, which is something that Jason came to the realization that he was not going to be able to provide. I believe he came to the realization that he couldn't give her what she needed without sacrificing all of himself.